Imagine this. The first condoms were made from animal intestines over 3,000 years ago. Yes, you heard that right. The earliest ancestors of today's latex wonders have a history that is as fascinating as it is unexpected. Let's travel back in time to ancient Egypt, where linen sheaths were the method of choice for safe intercourse. Now, if you think that's inventive, wait till you hear the next bit. In Asia, our resourceful predecessors came up with another unique solution. They used what were called Glans condoms, made from oiled silk paper or lamb intestines. Yes, you heard that right, lamb intestines. These were used to cover only the tip of the penis, providing a certain level of protection during intercourse. Talk about ingenuity, right? From silk to intestines, our ancestors were quite creative when it came to safe sex, weren't they? Fast forward to the Renaissance, where Italian Gabriele Falloppio invented a linen sheath condom. Enter the Renaissance, a period known for its cultural rebirth, scientific discoveries, and artistic masterpieces. But there was another invention that came to light in this era, one that was perhaps not as celebrated as the works of Michelangelo or Da Vinci, but was certainly groundbreaking in its own right, the condom. This humble invention was the brainchild of Gabriele Falloppio, an Italian physician who is known for his contributions to anatomy and his study of the reproductive system. Falloppio designed a linen sheath soaked in a chemical solution and allowed to dry before use. His creation was designed to fit snugly over the manhood, fastened with a ribbon at the top. But why, you might ask, did Falloppio feel the need to invent such a contraption? Well, the Renaissance was not just a time of enlightenment and discovery. It was also a period when syphilis, a sexually transmitted disease, was running rampant. Falloppio's condom was designed as a preventative measure against this disease. However, the journey of this invention was not without its hurdles. The acceptance of condoms during this period was marred by controversy. Societal norms, deeply rooted in religion, frowned upon the use of any form of contraception. The church, wielding significant influence at the time, believed that contraception interfered with the natural process of procreation, a concept they held sacred. Despite these challenges, Falloppio's invention managed to carve a niche for itself. It was a practical solution to a widespread problem, and for those who valued their health and well-being, it was a small price to pay. The Renaissance, a period known for its rebirth of art and culture, also gave birth to a new era in sexual health and disease prevention. Falloppio's linen sheath may not have been as glamorous as the Sistine Chapel's ceiling, but it certainly was a masterpiece in its own right, paving the way for future advancements in sexual health. And thus, the humble condom had a renaissance of its own, amidst a world of turmoil and disease. Did you know the rubber revolution in the 19th century had a significant impact on condoms too? Our story now takes us to the industrial age, a time of rampant innovation and rapid change. Amidst the rise of factories and steam engines, a man named Charles Goodyear was making his own mark on history. Goodyear, an American self-taught chemist and manufacturing engineer, invented a process called vulcanization in 1844. This process transformed rubber from a sticky, unstable material into a durable, flexible substance that could withstand heat and cold. Why is this important, you may ask? Well, Goodyear's innovation had far-reaching implications, even in the realm of sexual health. You see, his vulcanized rubber became the prime material for making condoms. Yes, the same rubber used in your car tires and rubber bands was now being used to create a barrier method of contraception. Before Goodyear's invention, condoms were primarily made from animal intestines, which were expensive and not readily accessible to everyone. But vulcanized rubber, that was a game changer. It was cheap, easy to produce, and could be mass-produced. This meant that, for the first time, condoms could be widely available and affordable. The Industrial Revolution played a significant role, too, providing the necessary infrastructure for mass production. Factories popped up, churning out these rubber condoms at a pace never seen before. This was a big deal. Condoms were no longer a luxury item, but a necessity that was available to one and all. It's worth noting that these early rubber condoms were quite different from what we're used to today. They were thick, often reused, and came in one-size-fits-all, but despite their shortcomings, they marked a significant step forward in making safe sex a viable option for the masses. So, thanks to Goodyear, condoms were no longer a luxury, but a necessity available to everyone. In the 20th century, condoms got a makeover, and how? The rubber revolution had begun, but it was far from over. As the 1920s rolled in, so did a new material, latex. This was a game changer for condom manufacturing. Latex, a form of natural rubber, offered several advantages over the previous materials used. It was stronger, thinner, and had a longer shelf life. This meant that condoms could be more reliable, provide greater sensitivity, and be stored for longer periods. But the innovations didn't stop there. Enter the reservoir tip, a small pouch at the end of the condom. This design improvement significantly increased the effectiveness of condoms in preventing unwanted pregnancies. It provided a space for semen to collect, reducing the risk of the condom breaking. The reservoir tip, combined with the strength and thinness of latex, made condoms an increasingly popular choice for contraception. However, the story of the modern condom is not just about preventing pregnancies, it's also about saving lives. In the 1980s, the world was hit by the AIDS epidemic. This deadly disease, caused by the HIV virus, spread rapidly and indiscriminately. It was a terrifying time, and there was no known cure. Condoms, already a trusted method of contraception, found a new role in this crisis. They became the frontline defense against the spread of HIV and other sexually transmitted diseases. Public health campaigns around the world began promoting condom use, not just for contraception, but for disease prevention too. The humble condom, once a simple linen sheath, had become a latex lifesaver. Its evolution was driven by the needs and challenges of each era. From the courts of King Charles to the battlefields of World War I, from the bedrooms of the 1920s to the AIDS crisis of the 1980s, the condom has been there, adapting, improving, protecting. And so, the condom has evolved from a linen sheath to a latex lifesaver, standing the test of time and history. So, there you have it, a journey through time with our trusty companion, the condom. From its surprising origins through to its renaissance and the rubber revolution, the condom has evolved remarkably over the centuries. In our modern day, it serves not only as a means of birth control, but also as a vital tool in disease prevention. Next time you see a condom, remember, you're looking at a piece of history that has saved millions of lives.